Right, hello everyone. Now that I've got the technical difficulties sorted for this, welcome to Free Practice 2 for MotoGP. I'm your commentator, Megan Birch, and as I just said, MotoGP, Free Practice 2 here in Spain, and unlike usual, I am on my own, and here's the track noise. Session has started about a minute and a half ago. Still need to perfect the timings on my own things for everything, so I am completely on my own for, I think, the rest of the weekend. Joshua will be joining me, obviously, through Discord, given he is currently at Donington. Seems to be enjoying it so far, though I am in control of the streams and getting a replay now of the back of Marc Marquez's bike, and I am guessing it is something to do with the aero and how the little rear wings are moving at the back of the bike, though everything seems to be going okay for them. They don't seem to have timings for themselves yet of any type, so obviously they're having technical difficulties, but I have timings green right here. And currently Zarco he hasn't set a time yet, but top of the session. And he is looking to set a time probably in the next 45 seconds, I would say. Though currently on board with Pedro Acosta, who seems to be having a good weekend so far. Though, stressful morning. This practice session will be half an hour long and then going straight on into qualifying 1 and then qualifying 2. And it's yellow flag, sector 1. Oh, we're not going to have another one of these days, are we? Anyone who was watching free practice 1 yesterday or something. And who sat down? That is one of the VR46s. And it is Morbidelli. Seems to have gone down in, that would be turn 4, I believe. Entrance of turn 4, I would say. And it's currently looking at, is that round? 79. No, that's Ayagura. Are they teammates? That explains why I thought it was Raul's first. Right, so first person to set a time is Rins with a 1:38.699. Bagnaia then sets a time of 1:38.439. This session, despite having a yellow flag, seems to be getting a lot of times on the board. Given it was in the first sector, I'm guessing that they mostly avoided it. Though, for those unlucky few, I bet there's going to be some. And that's Ayagura looking behind him. What is he looking at? And red flag! Aero fence. I'm calling it aero fence. Has Morbidelli busted the aero fence? Because honestly, isn't that 3 times in the past 24 hours that the aero fence? The aero fence has been busted, and this is going to put a delay to both qualifying, given the timer stop, and about 10 minutes. Oh, and that's really busted the aero fence. It'll probably be about, once they get that bike cleared, 10 minutes it will take for them to actually refill the air fence with air. Red flag due to track conditions. And Joshua, I hope you're watching this right now and hope you know what you've left me with. Please tell me it's only 1 aero fence. Yeah, incident turn 4 aero fence needs to be redeployed. It seems to be only 1, so that bike is really stuck in there. Right now we're looking at D'Antonio's bike for some reason. No, that's not D'Antonio's bike, that's Morbidelli's bike, his second bike. They've got it ready in the wings. I suppose if you're going to crash at any point during a practice session or even a qualifying session, you want it to be at the beginning, because then you're not messing up most of the other riders' times, and then you won't get a lot of people being annoyed at you. So, there's that. But what a way to start the Saturday. Red flag. Is there any other sweeter sign that this race this weekend is going to be absolutely chaotic? Now, I bet some of the other commentators would have thought I would have said chaos. Well, I'm not Joshua. That means I've got about 10 minutes of filler time, and I don't have a commentator to actually help me fill this time. So I'm just going to read you through the times currently of who have actually set them. Only 13 have actually managed to set times so far. That is Bagnaia with a 1:38.439 in first. Alicia Spargo gets second so far with a 1:38.440, and it's VR46 do not look very happy. Mainly because I think they're upset they're going to have to basically fix an entire new bike before tomorrow. Right, Acosta is third, Rins is fourth, Miller is fifth. Quite a good position for Miller, actually. Marini is sixth, seventh is Bsky, Brad Binder is eighth, ninth is D'Antonio, Zarco is 10th, 11th is Alex Marquez, 12th is Shantra, and Ayagura is in 13th. And it's kind of mixed reactions from the fans there in the grandstand. Both happy that they get to see a red flag, but also frustrated that now they're going to have to wait. Honestly, I feel that pain. Right, so looking at Marc Marquez's garage, they seem to be really desperate to actually get their strategies right, given the fact that, are they actually on the board? No. I think that was one of the lap times that were ruined. Mark's was one of them, I believe. Where was Mark? I think he was in, I want to say Sector 1. It would be Sector 1. Right, so have they already redeployed that air fence? It's been like, okay, it's been longer than I thought. It's been like 4 minutes. Yeah, they have already redeployed that air fence, and I believe the red flag will be coming in very shortly. New schedule pit lanes open at 10:19, so that's in a minute's time. They have already got that air fence up and running. That is impressive. Either that, or they have just had one waiting in the wings because of what happened yesterday and just moved it in. Actually, that would probably be quite wise for me, actually. I mean, I'd had that. If my riders were constantly going into the air fence and causing issues, then I would have, like, spare ones ready too. This means that qualifying is only delayed by about 5-10 minutes. And even then, it is just still directly after this. It just delays the timings a bit more for everyone else. Right, so that is, I want to say Mark. And again, you can't tell because, like me and Joshua were saying yesterday, there are not like customized uniforms or suits. It's hard to think when you're on your own and been covering for a while. Right, so first riders out of the pit lane, just heading up so that they can get a nice clear shot, and it's green flag running. Everyone heading out of the pit lane now. We have our first people out, and Miller was desperate to get out of there. I think he was the first out of pit lane. And there's D'Antonio, teammate of Morbidelli, heading out and hoping that he's not going to make the same mistake. But again, a lot of them are going to be wishing that, given how often they keep ruining those barriers. There's Ganeshi. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. That is, do you know what? I still can't tell. I still can't tell which Ducati that is because they both have 3 as their last number, so it becomes impossible to tell which one's which. That would be Bagnaia. It is impossible unless you sit in front of the bike. Make changes, please, I beg of you. Here is Franco Morbidelli's crash, and just loses it at the entrance of turn 4. And, ooh, it looks like both him and the bike hit the aero fence. Wow, that is... He's going to be sore for the rest of the day, I bet. At least the airbag seems to have deployed at least minutely. You can tell it's slightly inflated, but not as much as I would like for hitting air. Then again, he had an airbag deployed and he hit him basically the equivalent of a giant airbag. That's funny. Right, so Marc Marquez heads out onto the track, and we all know where this is going. He's gonna get first. Then again, I might have just done the commentator's curse on him, and he might actually go into the air offense as well. It is a lottery. Right, so coming up to the first times since the restart, and Joshua's doing well. So, and I just remembered I forgot something. So I'm going to have to run in during the break at the end of this to actually go get it. Which, can you guess? My water! So I can actually commentate effectively. Oh well. Right, technically 24 minutes left of the session right now. Currently looking at Bagnaia, and it's a little bit of a wobble there into turn. I genuinely think that was turn 4. Was that turn 4? Yes, it was. Wobble into turn 4, and now that I think about it, why was it saying sector 3 when people were going off in turn 6 yesterday? That's something me and Joshua didn't even notice, and I've just figured out. Right. So, Bagnaia currently at 4/10 slower than... Oh no, now it's 4/10 faster. Finally updated on the screens than his current time. And it's Alex Marquez. Ooh, slower. That is weird for Alex. And again, I guess he wants to be a bit more careful after yesterday. He crashed twice for those who didn't watch yesterday's coverages. Twice. Don't know how he actually had enough bikes to finish the session. Right, Bagnaia is now almost 5.5 tenths faster than his original time, and finally getting the times in. Bezecchi goes top with a 1:37.876, trying to get those times in. Mia goes 12th. Elijah Spargo, 1:38.268, goes second. Agura third with a 1:38.416. Then Binder up into second. That is Marini in third, and D'Antonio in fourth. Ralph Fernandez goes up into 11th, further down in the field. Bastianini goes 9th with a 1:38.688, I believe. Is it? Do you know what? I can't find him on the timing screen. Bagnaia goes top of the session with a 1:37.139. Aldeguer goes second. That is impressive from Aldeguer. But I think his glory is immediately going to be taken away from him by one of the Yamahas of Fabio Quartararo, given that he is currently extremely fast in both the sectors. And that's when Yala's actually taking off. And yellow flag, sector 3. What's happened? Quartararo goes second, 1:37.619. And what's happened? Why is there a yellow out on the track? Right, let's see. Sector 3, sector 3. And that would be for Alex Rins, who has crashed down in sector 3. Here's a replay. What's he do? Does he just lose it? Oh yeah, he just loses it. Not as bad as everyone else. I mean, it's pretty slow loss. Kind of just let go and it kind of slowly... And yet his airbag deployed, and yet Alex's didn't yesterday. Well, that's a shocker. Because that airbag was deployed. Is that... So a Yamaha goes second and his teammate crashes. Oh, and speaking of teammate, there he is. Right, so the yellow flag is still out. I'm betting that's for gravel. I don't know why it's still out though. Could be because it's still marshalled out on the track. Right, Bagnaia goes... Is that him going top again? Or Bastianini goes 14th with a 1:38.330. Quartararo is 31,000th faster than Bagnaia's time, and now he's 2.5 tenths slower after he's passed sector 3. So what was going to be a really great lap is not going to turn out to be one. And new qualifying schedule: qualifying 1 at 11:15 and qualifying 2 at 11:20. Okay, who messed up? Because I know I was reading that right. We are not going to have a qualifying session that lasts 5 minutes, everyone. Let me just soothe your minds of that. I don't know what's gone on just then. Though they are not going to start 5 minutes apart from each other, because that is physically impossible given the ad break between them is 5 minutes long. Weird. Weird way. Right. So, 20 minutes left of the session right now. Marc Marquez tops the session now with a 1:37.002. Oh, I bet he really wants to get into those 1:36s. Bagnaia is currently, a tenth and a half slower after going through sector 3. Everyone seems to be having trouble with that sector. Bezzecchi goes up into third. Acosta into fourth with 1:37.436. Alexis Spargo goes into sixth. See, he seems to be really flourishing right now. D'Antonio goes up into fifth position now with a 1:37.518. Ralph Fernandez goes 10th with 1:37.776. Bagnaia still maintaining that slowness from sector 3, and what's he going to come out as? Second, maintaining his position with a 1:37.097. A lot slower. That's about a tenth slower from what he was predicted before sector 3 started. And I'm really worried that someone else is going to crash now, because they seem to be going down like flies at the moment. This is worrying. Right, so Plug says hello everybody in Saturday qualifying. Hello. And I can't actually read what it says. And John Tan 14. Hi. Right, so I'm not as good at reading things and reading names as Joshua is. He's a lot more qualified. He spends a lot more time doing this stuff. I spend a lot more time with my nose in a book. Even though I am actually been qualifying for how many years? Over 10, 13. Jeez. Right, 17 and a half minutes left of the session. Bezzecchi goes 5th, Mia goes 7th, and what is happening to this qualifying, to this FP2 screen, sorry? That is weird. They're just showing me the intervals instead of what they actually are. And that was Acosta going 7th, I believe, with D'Antonio going 5th. It would have been Acosta. Quartararo has got back to having 31 thousandths of a second faster than Marc Marquez's time, and that is Alex Marquez going 5th, and a little bit slower there for Marc. We are going to have dramas in quali later. Yes, we are. If free practice is anything to go by, then yeah. Both of them, by the way. Oh, and here's the new schedule. They've actually remembered everything. Qualifying 1 starts at 10:55 and qualifying 2 starts at 11:20. So that's when we'll get all the drama from. Let's face it, they're going to be wanting to go faster through all of these laps, so they're not going to have to back off as much as they are in this. So they're going to be crashing more. Does that mean it's going to be a red flag? Probably. Given that we've already had one in this session, and that started like 4 minutes in, not even 4 minutes. I think it was like 3.5 minutes. Seems to be going fine so far, but knowing my luck, we're going to have a red flag at the end of it. Right, so I'll take you through the top 10 right now. Marc Marquez is currently top of the session with a 1:37.002. Quartararo second, Bagnaia third, Vinales fourth. Alex Marquez is in 5th, D'Antonio is in 6th, 7th is Bezzecchi, Acosta is in 8th, Mia is in 9th, and Aldeguer is in 10th. And this is Morbidelli for some reason going round Chantra like his life depended on it. Because that was a bit more practice for quali, it looked like, with that overtake. I mean, you're not even... What does FP2 do? Just wondering. I mean, we could so just combine this. I suppose it gets the tyres warmed up. I suppose that is the function of it. Currently on board with Quartararo is now 56 thousandths of a second up on Marc Marquez's time. Could he actually do this? Coming into the final corner now and crossing the line. Where'd he go? Goes top with a 1:36.983. First today to break into 1:36s, and he seems chuffed with that. Seems quite happy. That's 19 thousandths faster than Marc Marquez. I keep saying to Joshua, could Quartararo be a contender for this weekend? Because he has won here before, and this is a replay. So it was something. This is Morbidelli on Chantra. Did he impede around turn 6? I think he did. He definitely forced him off the track a little bit. So I was right to call out because it did look a bit suspicious. Oh, and that is a yellow. What did I tell you? That is debris all around the track as well. So yellow flag, sector 4, and is that Binder? Okay, wait, no, is that... That is Acosta. Acosta completely loses it going into the entrance of that corner. His bike is demolished. And airbag did not deploy, it seems. He just loses. Front wheel just buckles in on him. And then just goes right into the gravel. And did he get... Ooh, that was marginal. He had to avoid a piece of debris coming off of his bike. That was round turn 13. That's something to watch. It looks like he's going down a slide. That's how I will describe it to everyone who is listening. Who's listening rather than watching, which is wonky. And it's basically like going down a slide with the gravel, though a lot more painful. So everyone's lap times would be cancelled around at turn 4, which is going to frustrate quite a lot of people. There is the view from the dash cam of the bike, and it just gets completely destroyed. Marshals are on it pretty quick though. Like, it's not even on the ground fully for like 3 seconds before they're on it. Very quick reaction times from there. And that bike has thrown debris quite a long ways along the gravel, so hopefully they've got that picked up quick. The yellow flag has gone in now, 13 minutes left to go of the session. And is that Quartararo? Yes, it is Quartararo. And his suit is looking quite shiny right now because the sun's beating down on him and there's zero clouds about, which I can't tell whether the riders would be happy or sad about that. I mean, it means no chance of rain, but it also means that their necks are going to get really, really warm. And that their suits are going to be even harder to manoeuvre in. I would be in hell, personally. And here is a replay of turn 6, and it's 21, that's Morbidelli. Just having a little wobble round turn 6. Which wheel? It was the back one that buckled first, and I've been waiting for someone to show that. That's a soft, so please, for the love of everything, stop using the softs to go round the circuit. If you keep buckling, then you're gonna fall. Hold on a minute. He's probably been staying on this. They're all on softs apart from Acosta. Well, that didn't work out too well for him on mediums, both front and rear. Maybe he needs... And again, I'm pretty sure he buckled on his front, so maybe he needs a hard front, medium rear. Right, so 11.5 minutes left to go of this session, and at the moment it is in its lull period, so if I'm just rambling, then you know why. It'll pick up in about 3 minutes. Here's a replay of Pedro Acosta with his crash, because we all know they love to throw the drivers with pain. Yeah, I was right! It was his front that buckled. And it just caused him to lose everything. Tell you what though, ooh, that must have hurt his shoulder blade when he hit one of the, you know, the little bumps around the corners that kind of showed to slow down. Though his bike is gonna need extensive repair. I don't think they will be able to do that in time for qualifying, given that qualifying starts in like 20 minutes. So, you said we'd get dramas in qualifying. Apparently it wants to also make an appearance here. Right, that is... Looking at Marc Marquez's garage for some reason. Is that... He is in, currently. I don't know why he is currently in. Should be setting another time. I mean, like Mark to just be okay with second. That is actually very unlike him. Looking at Quartararo now, going through his strategies, so I don't see what he needs for strategy-wise. I mean, he's pretty okay at the moment. And this is Acosta heading back out via strip. I understand. Those of you who do not know, I have a hatred for when people just throw the driver strips, well, the rider strips, in their case, on the ground. Rider strips. My mind is a million miles away right now. Because it's trying to keep up really quickly with what's happening here, because my mind wants to say about everyone leaving the pit box, though It's annoying. Mark's heading back out, desperate to get first place. Can't say I blame you. Right, Quartararo stays in the pit lane, according to this, but I don't... Surely he'd want to go back out and see if he can improve even more on his time, especially if Mark's going out, so he'll probably be out in about a minute or two. Right, he's on his third run, Marc Marquez, right now. He got second on his second run, jeez. That is impressive. Currently looking at Jack Miller, and he is a tenth down on the time of Quartararo's. And Antonio goes to 6th. Marini further down goes into 14th. Honestly, that's not as good as earlier on Marini, but we'll take it. Usually it's a lot lower. Jack Miller goes into 5th for 1:37.220. And here's Quartararo exiting the pit lane. At least I think that's Quartararo. It might be Rins. I never saw a number. It's Rins. I can't tell. Please, let them customise their suits. Please. For the love of everything. I mean, I know the Marquezes both have their names on the back. I mean, that does help. Actually, why don't I just go from that when it comes to them too? It's easier to tell. And I feel like we're still in the lull period right now. And it's Yamaha talking about, and MM93 yellow flag. That is Bagnaia. Bagnaia crashes sector 3, and is it the sector we've been worrying about all the time? I believe it is, because I'm pretty sure that Morbidelli crashed there earlier on today. Is it Morbidelli from the teammates? Bagnaia as well. I believe he is. He's always teammate of the champion, it seems. Right, so this is round into turn 7. Ooh, he just loses it. Though it was quite a violent losing it, I would say. Because it's like the bike, when he was going round the corner, just ejected him off of it. Like, see him going around the corner now, the entrance in the middle, and coming up into the exit. Then round the second corner, and through the entrance, he just completely gets jolted off of the bike. Lap time cancelled for 72 due to the yellow flag, and which one of you is 72? That would be Bsky. I should know that. I knew it was someone who had been in VR46 before. Right, that was quite a violent one for Bagnaia, actually, though his bike seems to have not done a lot of damage, and he seems perfectly fine. I mean, he got up straight away. And it continued to have lap time cancelled for all those in that area, and here's a replay of Marc Marquez for some reason. What did he do? Did he do something? You see him start to kind of lose it on his rear tyre. Yeah, he almost lost it, but seemed to have managed to keep himself upright. So he's on softs, right? Or yeah, he's on softs for his rear tyre. So it seems like we're going to need a harder compound going around the track today. And another yellow is out of the track, and that is a Yamaha. Sorry for all those of you who love the Yamaha. And who is that? That would be Rins, because Quartararo isn't out yet. Rins, round turn 6. Oh! He's okay, he's up and walking, but he just got smacked straight into an air fence. And that is going to hurt. Obviously, he's going to be heading out into medical centre, and those of Yamaha are having their eyes wide at the impact of that. He is okay, though. Though that bike went straight into the aero fence, and so did he. And weirdly enough, that aero fence did not look like it was fully repaired. So, gonna have to look into that later. And there's Bagnaia going off to the medical centre, I presume, or is just his trailer. Though, Rins, you're gonna have to go out to the medical centre. Ryder is okay, but, well, he's gonna not be very happy if he has to just do qualifying, I can tell you that. Which I'm pretty sure he is. I think he's in qualifying too, though, so it should give him a bit more recovery time. So that is a benefit. Though, that was dramatic. Joshua, you've left me with them all crashing into the air fences, and now they're flinging themselves in. 4.5 minutes left of the session. What else can happen to these riders right now? Acosta just almost booked the front of his bike. Do you know what I mean? Like with a horse. Like booking upwards. He almost did that just then. That isn't a dare, Acosta, to just decide to crash again. You've already done it once today. I don't reckon you have another bike in store. I don't reckon they're fixing the bike you just broke. Because he probably needs an entire new rear for his bike. Acosta is a 1/10.5 slower than Quartararo's time though, and I believe Quartararo has actually finally made his way out of the pit lane. He has, given the fact that his teammate has just decided to jump in an air fence. That was... I've never seen that before. I have never seen a rider be flung into an air fence and just... let alone be flung into an air fence and get up like nothing happened. Straight away, got back up. And it wasn't even like he was flung slightly. It was... that air fence was way too soft. And it looked like it broke apart. I'm guessing a piece of debris must have hit it beforehand. But he's okay. Marc Marquez is almost 0.2 faster than Quartararo's time, so Quartararo get a move on. And it's coming into the last sector now, and he is gone down about 0.5 tenth, so... no, not 0.5 tenth, an entire tenth. So people seem to be losing time in Sector 3. I think it's because they don't want to be flung at things. Can't say I blame them. 3 minutes left of the session now, and we should be getting the final lap times in shortly, though not many improvements. I'm seeing only 2 really are improving. 3 actually, because we have someone bottom who is improving quite heavily, and Marc Marquez with a 1:36.923 going top of the session. And this is Bagnaya's bike, I believe. Has he broke his chain? They're having to tighten up the chain, it seems, on Bagnaya's bike. I don't know how such a small... well, I suppose it's what we were saying yesterday. Such a small impact can just cause such damage to the bike. I mean, it just has to be in the perfect positioning for it to actually just cause chaos. And yes, I said. Right, so, saying during Marquez... unfortunately, I cannot read that. Sean 1014, has it happened again? Yes. Yes, it has happened again. Right, 2 minutes left of the session now. And just as I'm saying that, I'm now remembering that I never asked Joshua for the outro, and so thankfully it's written down for me. Unfortunately, I don't know certain things. I'm going to have to test out with it during the break after getting my drink. Right, so 1.5 minutes left of the session, and it's... Mark is currently a 1/10.5 up on his own time, and Quartararo, what are you doing? You improved really well in Sector 2, though Sector 1 was not that great, though Mark, he is definitely going to top his own time again, and it crosses the line and does a 1:36.677. That is 2.5 tenths faster than his previous time, and he is just finding pace after pace at the minute. Though, honestly, bit too late in the session to be starting doing that. You are top first, so I'll give you that off. And that is not that great of a last sector time for Quartararo, and I think he's going to be beaten by Vinales, who currently seems to be doing quite well in his last 2 sectors, which is surprising given one of them was Sector 3, and he does go second with a 1:36.887. That is 2 tenths off of Marc Marquez's time, but it's fine. Mark, for some reason, when he's on the last minute of the lap, seems to find all the pace in the world, but, well, that's just Mark. Alex is not doing as well today. I'm guessing he wants to take it easy after yesterday, given he's currently in 6th. Right, currently people are entering the pit lane, and is that Bagnaya going to the medical centre? Probably just, he's been told, you need to go to get a checkup because you did crash. Because he originally went to his own little section, his little trailer thing, probably to get a refresh. And checkered flag is now out. Final sector times and timings are coming up, and I can only see 2 that are actually improving right there. Probably going to do practice starts, I'm not sure after this. So after these 2 make their way through things. Oh, only one's improving now because one of them's Bagnaia and he hasn't been shown to not on the track. And it's Bagnaia, why are you taking off your knee pads? You do realise qualifying is in 9 minutes. Okay, right, so final sector times are now in. Right, Marquez is top with a 136.677, Vinales is second with a 136.887, Quartararo third with a 136.978, Bagnaia is fourth, having crashed. Fifth is Jack Miller, very surprisingly, and Quartararo very disappointed with his times. And it's doing a wheelie apparently on his front wheel. I would not suggest that for timings. I mean, yesterday was a joke when we mentioned about the unicycle things. We didn't actually mean it literally, Fabio. Didn't mean it literally. That was round turn 1. Right, so Alex Marquez is 6th with Digentonio in 7th, Bezzecchi is 8th, Morbidelli is 9th, 10th is Marini, Binder is 11th, Acosta is 12th, Mir is 13th, Aldeguer is 14th, Aleix Espargaro is 15th, 16th is Zarco, Agura is in 17th, Raul Fernandez is in 18th, 19th is Augusto Fernandez, Bastianini is 20th, 21st is Rins, Chantra is 22nd, and for some reason showing Salvadorian 23rd. And that is... How are you back out on the track? Bagnaia seems to be doing practice starts in the middle of a track. And that is time, I would say, to go off there now. Where is the other person? That's a good... Do you mean Joshua? Joshua is currently at Donington, which is currently on the main channel, I believe. So if you want to also go on to there, more than welcome to, because he's having a right old time at the first race of the season, well, first round of the season for touring cars. So, right, I will quick off because obviously qualifying starts in about 7 minutes. So I will do a quick off now. So thank you for watching. Please join me in about 6 minutes time for qualifying 1 and then qualifying 2 here on JB Motorsports 2. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.